I am glad that there are so many mockers and scoffers.
Well, that's kind of an odd thing to be glad about, but go ahead and explain.
Because God is doing a few things with this right now. First and foremost, he is bringing awareness to this event for people who would have otherwise never known what it was.
Well, here's the problem though. If it was really God telling the event, why does the date have to keep changing? God in the past has literally told people what would happen, and it happened exactly as he said. How many times does someone have to be wrong before you realize they're a false prophet, that God didn't actually speak to them? Our God does not play games with his children. He does not tease us. Why would he give you a date but then say, oh, you have to use this calendar, oh, you have to use this calendar, oh, you have to use this calendar? That would be cruel.
People are opening their Bibles, they are reading Bible verses for the first time because they are looking up what the rapture even is.
But the problem is your understanding of it is completely wrong. See, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 is where we get the word rapture from, and it's actually not a description of a secret disappearance. It's a description of the resurrection when Christ returns. Notice all these passages that they use to explain the rapture, all of them talk about the return of the Lord, and then they say, oh, but this is actually the rapture. But the passage itself literally says the return. And there's a couple things to consider specifically with 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. First off, it says that God will send with Jesus those who've fallen asleep. Why would he send the dead with Jesus to raise them from the dead if we're all just going to be whisked away back to heaven? Jesus gave us the promise of a resurrection, not the promise of a disappearance. But the other thing to consider is this word here, meet. It says we will meet Jesus in the air. It doesn't say we will meet the people. It says we will meet him. And that word meet in ancient culture is only ever used in one context. When royalty would come visit a city, all the people would go out, meet them on the road, and parade them in, just like they did at his triumphal entry on Palm Sunday.
He is planting seeds. So whenever this event does happen, he will hopefully in that moment bring them to surrender.
So the problem with the argument you just gave is you're saying that he will bring them into submission, but you're not saved by submission. Submission is what you do because you have faith in who God is. So if he brought them to submission, well, guess what? And one day every knee will bow and every tongue confess. That does not mean that everyone is saved. It just means everyone one day will know the truth. And if you believe in the secret disappearance anyway, what you're saying is that somehow they'll magically be saved in that moment? I thought it would be too late for them according to how you guys teach it.
Secondly, y'all are fulfilling scripture. So I want to personally thank you because I get to sit back and watch the Bible be fulfilled.
No, we're not fulfilling scripture because you're using this passage very incorrectly. You pull out mockers and scoffers because people are scoffing at you and yes, mocking you. But that's not at all what that passage talks about. It talks about people who scoff the idea of Jesus Christ himself. We long for his return, but we also understand no man knows the day or hour. That includes your pastor friend in Africa who's been wrong several times. How many times does he have to be wrong before you realize he's not a prophet and you fell for it? So let it go instead of doubling down in pride.
God told us this would happen. He said in 2 Peter 3 verses 3 and 4 that in the last days scoffers will come, scoffing and following their own evil desires, saying, where is this coming that he promised?
And what evil desires are we following inherently by saying you don't know the day or hour? That's not an evil desire. We're disagreeing with you. So no, this is not a fulfillment of that verse. You guys are just doubling down in pride.
I also want to point out that this verse directly points to a pre-tribulation rapture because the Bible clearly tells us that the second coming of Jesus Christ, the physical return to this earth, every eye will see him.
Well, I see why you didn't finish the paragraph, because it doesn't make your point. No, it's not talking about a pre-trib rapture. If you read the second half, it talks about how they say that all things have continued as they have. So they're not saying that, oh, your rapture wasn't really a rapture. It's literally talking about people now who laugh at the idea of Jesus coming back at all. So no, still not working for you.
There will be no doubters, there will be no mockers, there will be no scoffers at the physical return of Jesus Christ. So what coming are they referencing?
So look, I feel for you because all of us have been fooled from time to time. But doubling down in pride is not the answer. You need to admit that you were wrong, that you got fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, 3 times, 4 times, that's on you.